Expo will be taking place in Johannesburg from the 11th to the 13th of March. The Creative Industries Expo, of course, is a fresh and a unique event providing a platform for learners and youth to easily access information and gain more insight into the different careers in the creative, cultural and heritage sectors. Now, the creative industry is one of the biggest industries with more and more learners branching out with the hopes of finding employment in the sector. Now, this expo will include career guidance workshops facilitated by educators, by industry experts and artists, as well as a session for parents who wish to engage with the sector or their children wish to pursue. But to tell us more, we joined in studio by Rosie Katz, who is the organizer of the expo, as well as Mdu Zakwe, who is the CEO of Media, Information and Communications Technology at SETA. Very good morning to you two and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Rosie, I'm going to start with you. Since the creative industry is quite broad, which sectors in particular are you going to focus on?
Well, we're focusing on a range of sectors, in fact, all of them. We're covering performing arts, advertising, media, broadcast, culinary skills, photography, design, architecture. So really publishing, everything that encompasses the creative industries. Okay. So the sector that we're aiming at is very broad.
I mean, why was this expo created? What is it that you're trying to achieve?
I think we're trying to achieve that careers in the creative industries are sustainable, they're available. It's about displaying to learners what is available, because very often our learners and youth don't realize the different opportunities that exist in the sector. And I think that's very much why the Expo was born, and enabling them to find out. You know, very often people think, if I want to be in music, I've got to be the lead singer. Right, they don't realize the very many employment opportunities and careers that go with that. Stage management, administration, marketing, legal. And I think it's a similar thing with all the different areas in the creative industries.
Yeah. Now, Rosie raises a very, very pertinent point with regards to the fact that not so many children, especially young children, don't realize the magnitude or the importance that the creative industry can offer. And I suppose that it needs to start from our education system, and our authorities need to be the drivers of, of the message that the creative industry is indeed sustainable.
Absolutely. If you look at the creative industry as a whole, it's an economy on its own. Yeah. You look at the companies, the Facebook, the Googles, they control 70% of the platform. They are saying to us, look, there is an economy here upon which careers can be born. There's a lot of technologies that are involved in shaping the creative industry. Look at artificial intelligence, for instance. Look at blockchain, and also look at virtual reality. Those are all the technologies that are disrupting the way digital content is being produced. Now, obviously from our side, from an education space, we need to make sure that we can expose these young people into these different careers, because behind these technologies is software development. Behind these technologies is storage. Where do you store this? Behind these technologies is a need for us to secure the content, to make sure that no manipulation happens. Behind these technologies is also an ability to use blockchain techniques to be able to make sure that we avoid robotics that can spread propaganda, for instance. So those are all different careers that we can expose these young people towards.
And I believe there's a myriad of exhibitors who will be exhibiting their wares and services at this particular expo. Do you want to take us through some of them?
Yeah, as Rosie has said, there's many other players that's been invited. Us as MICT will be there as well through our own career guide. We have since launched an application to the QCTO to push for new qualifications within the advertising, within the media space, as part of a new curriculum that you're trying to develop. All those things we'll be talking about. But there's many other advertisers that will be there, exhibitors that will be there, as Rosie has explained.
Okay. Rosie?
So, yes, just to go on to that, we've actually got over 40 exhibitors, and we've got a real diverse range of exhibitors. We've got the Wits School of the Arts, we've got the Samro Foundation, we've got Vuyani Dance, we've got University of Johannesburg Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture, we've got culinary schools, we've got organizations that are NGOs that are providing training and education. So we have Ditsong museums who are providing training or what's available in museums and heritage. The Yuma Sekela Heritage Foundation is there. We've got the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. So we've really got an extremely diverse range of institutions that are offering training and education in these sectors, and hope to expose our learners to the opportunities that exist.
And I'd like us to touch a bit more on the content with regards to what will be shared during some of the workshops. And I do understand that there will also be workshops at this expo.
So there will be workshops daily. There will be workshops that are happening in the different sectors that will take place at different times throughout the day. They'll be run by industry experts, academics, artists who will share with the learners and other attendees what the opportunities are, what the challenges are, what that particular career path could offer them. So we have, for example, the performing arts and technical production. We have design and visual arts, jewelry, we have photography, we have heritage, literature, publishing, culinary skills. So there'll be the different workshops that take place throughout the day. Fantastic range of speakers that will be delivering these workshops. We have an animation workshop that the Goethe Institute and Triggerfish will be hosting. We'll also be having a workshop on theatre for young audiences by Asatej. And then we have a very interesting workshop for parents where we have a panel of highly skilled people in the industry who will be talking to parents about the industry, because what we found is parents are reluctant for their children to go into these industries. You know, is a career in this industry sustainable? Is it professional? We read these things in the newspaper about this artist or that artist. I mean, you're in the creative industries, and it's a professional, hard-working, sustainable career. So we want to say to parents, this is what the industry is about.
And I suppose there's so many factors then. I mean, you've also raised some of the most important factors that we should consider which hinder some of the youth from exploiting some career opportunities within the creative space. I mean, as I've mentioned earlier on, is the education system that doesn't really create or provide an enabling environment for youth, for young people to take up careers in this. And there's also parents. You've also added a totally different dimension that I didn't actually think of. The parents themselves discouraging their children and young people to explore opportunities in the creative sector. Now, Mr. Zakwe, for those who may be attending this expo and visiting your stall, what can they expect from the stall? Will you be connecting the people who will be attending your stalls to some of the captains of the industry, perhaps?
Yeah, I think for us, we just want to open up the opportunities that exist within the creative industry economy. You know, if you want to become a software architect, for instance, if you want to become a security architect, for instance, if you want to become a software designer, these are all the kind of careers one can go into, because this country imports 130 billion of ICT goods, which include technologies that run the creative economy.
All right.
Okay, and we need to make sure that we can reduce that dependence on other nations to give us these technologies. Right. So the youth is needed to participate in this space and make sure that we can create our own.
We don't have much time, unfortunately. Yeah. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, and it really is a pleasure hosting you. And all the best in the Expo. That was Rosie Cads as well as Mdu Zakwe talking to us about the Careers Expo, which is set to take place in Johannesburg from the 11th to the 13th of March.